The night general kicks off with the rookies, returning from a night out when they spot a drug deal happening nearby. Chen and West take off after the suspect through an alley, while Nolan circles around and takes him down with a solid clothesline. West pulls off the suspect's hood and is shocked to discover it's his own landlord, Mr. Wilson. The next morning, Nolan is assigned to show the precinct's newest night detective, Pablo Armstrong, played by Harold Perrineau, around the station. But first, it's time for roll call. Gray praises West for the arrest, but informs him he'll need to find a new place to live since his apartment is now an active crime scene. Meanwhile, Bradford is told to read another book to prepare for the sergeant's exam. He decides Chen should read it out loud during patrol. Chen actually enjoys the book, especially its message about respecting every officer, regardless of their rank. Their reading is cut short by a call about two teenagers who bought bulletproof vests online and decided to test them out. Unfortunately, one of the vests fails, and the teen ends up needing to be taken to the hospital. Their next call involves a suspicious van, which turns out to belong to Rex, one of Bradford's former colleagues, who's back in town collecting a bounty. Bradford warns him to stick to the rules and assures him they'll help him get paid properly. The next morning, they notice Rex's car is still parked outside and go to check on it. They find he's been attacked by the fugitive he was tracking and left unconscious in the bushes. Bradford and Chen break into his aunt's house to find him, and she calls Rex on speakerphone. He pretends to be in Florida, but they quickly realize he's lying. When they confront him, he lashes out, leading to a brutal hand-to-hand fight with both officers. That night, Chen gives Bradford an audiobook version of the sergeant's exam material, so he can study in a way that works better for him. He thanks her for the thoughtful gesture and gets back to training. With no place to stay, West is approached by Officer Smitty, who tells him to meet at the West Gate. When he arrives, he's surprised to find Shangri-La Westgate, a trailer park set up right in the LAPD parking lot. Before he can consider the offer, Lopez pulls up to give him a ride, and he puts the idea on hold. While out on patrol, she advises him to avoid the trailer setup and move back in with his parent. Though hesitant, West agrees, at least for now. Lopez tries to get him to stop being so hard on himself, but he's not easy to convince. Later, the two manage to get Mrs. Christian to confess where Tony has been taken. Elsewhere, on patrol, Armstrong shares that he made detective in just 4 years, which grabs Nolan's attention. Nolan asks to shadow him to learn everything he can. Their first call is about a disturbed man causing trouble at a hospital. When they arrive, they find a huge man attacking people. In the chaos, Nolan spots an old college friend, Dr. Grace Sawyer, played by Ali Larter, and there's an immediate spark between them. At their next call, they find a couple tied up in a basement. The parents tell them burglars have their son, Jeff, upstairs. But when Nolan and Armstrong get there, they find the boy dead and have to stop the parents from rushing in. With this now classified as a homicide, Armstrong officially asks Nolan to partner with him to track down the killer. Armstrong walks Nolan through analyzing the crime scene and piecing together the clues. Impressed with Nolan's instincts, they narrow the suspect list down to around 50. After digging deeper, they land on a name, Bruno Winch. But when they raid his home, they find he's already been attacked and is in critical condition. Bruno is rushed to the hospital, giving Nolan a chance to reconnect with Grace. Sensing the chemistry, Armstrong encourages Nolan to pursue her. After wrapping up their shift, Nolan heads out, but invites Armstrong to come over for beer, pizza, and some home renovation work. At Nolan's place, he and Armstrong talk about Nolan's dating life, including his brief past with Grace. Armstrong teases the idea of pursuing her, despite her being married, but Nolan takes a moral stand. Armstrong respects his decision and gives him credit for sticking to his value. The next morning, Nolan stops by the hospital to check in on their patient and unexpectedly runs into Grace. He tries to make small talk, but she unleashes years of pent-up frustration, saying she can't even stand to look at him. Clearly shaken, Nolan returns to the precinct, where he finds Mr. Christian waiting to speak with Armstrong. Sensing something off about the grieving father, Nolan suggests they question him more thoroughly. They press Mr. Christian about Jeff's time in rehab, his personal struggles, and his connection to Bruno. When they show him a photo of Bruno, badly beaten, they try to get him to open up. While Armstrong steps out, Nolan tries to bond with him, father to father. Mr. Christian keeps his guard up, but what he doesn't know is that Armstrong planted a tracker on his car to keep tabs on him. Meanwhile, they learn the identity of Bruno's accomplice. But things get tense when the vehicle tracker goes dark. Time is running out. They rush to Tony's house, only to discover Mr. Christian has taken him hostage. With new information from Mrs. Christian, Nolan and Armstrong track him to a construction site. There, they find Mr. Christian has buried Tony in wet cement and is preparing to hang himself, believing he's completed his mission. Nolan pleads with him not to force his wife to bury two bodies, but despite his efforts, Mr. Christian goes through with it. Thankfully, Nolan reaches Armstrong just in time, and together, they're able to pull Tony out alive. That night, Wes shows up at Shangri-La Way Westgate to move in with Smitty, but almost immediately, he realizes he can't handle Smitty's quirks. As he's about to leave, Chen pulls up and offers him a place to stay at her apartment instead. Meanwhile, Bradford stops by Rex's hospital room to let him know he filed the bounty paperwork under his own name. He tells Rex that next time, he'd appreciate a heads up if a bounty hunter is operating in their area. The episode closes with Nolan visiting the hospital to apologize to Grace for how things ended between them. She accepts his apology, and the chemistry between them quickly reignites. What did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below.